adjusted. And so there was enough food for all patrons in terms of quantity and variety. This year we increased the number of chefs from 30 to over 50. There was an overall increase in numbers throughout the festival, as Saturday alone had over 100 participants on the Passport Food Tour, visiting 10 eateries throughout the island. Every parish in Nevis was visited. And I want to commend the organizers, because sometimes I think we're so focused on the big event on Sunday at the park that we ignore the significance of this Passport Food Tour. What this Passport Food Tour did was, it was what we call community tourism on display. We took persons up into Barnsgut, we took them into Cotton Ground, we took them into Hanley's Road, into Prospect, up in Fountain, and we involved small eateries in the villages who would ordinarily perhaps not get this level of exposure, and people loved it. We took them in convoys around the island, and they absolutely loved it. And so I thank all of those who participated, and of course the eateries, and I hope that they would have appreciated the extent of exposure that they were able to get from this Passport Food Tour. There was also an increase in overall sponsorship for the event. We moved from just $38,500 in terms of sponsorship in 2023 to $156,500 in sponsorship in 2024. We are thankful for the increase in sponsorship from various ministries and companies. Sponsors increased from 8 last year to 19 sponsors this year. Additionally, we already have commitments for next year. You know, success is like that. Once you start to succeed, people want to come on board. And so I thank all the sponsors without whom we can't do this. And I make the commitment today that next year it's going to be even bigger and better. We had coverage from news stations to various social media influencers to even major local companies such as National Bank and Rams. We also had coverage from our Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, and yours truly, the Premier, via their Facebook pages for 2 years in a row. There were at least 25,000 views on social media for various Mango Festival events. Increase in participating chefs for the cook-off competition, as 4 chefs were present. Chefs came from Nevis, St. Kitts, Antigua, and New York. Congratulations to our 3-time winner, our very own chef from Four Seasons, Miss Margaret Ann Castro and her team. Mango Fest 2024 showed a 52% increase in revenues this year over 2023. A new VIP experience dubbed the Mango Lounge was an added attraction specifically for the 10th anniversary 2024. And from all indications, it was very well received. A 10th anniversary innovation was the introduction of a homegrown talent concert entitled The Mango Concert. This was also well received, and it featured homegrown artists, including, of course, our own Abena Amri and Denise Gordon. Our thanks to the CEO, Mr. Devon Liebert of the Nevis Tourism Authority, Mr. Farron Jones, our marketing director there, our consultant, Mr. Noah Mills, our valuable sponsors, volunteers, social media influencers, stakeholders, patrons, performers, and everyone who had something to do with making the Mango Fest 10th edition the outstanding success that it was. But let me take a moment, members of the press and public, to praise the workers at the Nevis Tourism Authority, the team that is there. Oftentimes when events are successful, the politician takes his credit and those who are in charge take their credit. But I was there firsthand to see the level of work put in by the employees, the team at the Nevis Tourism Authority, and I publicly applaud them today. They were selling tickets, they were working into the nights, they were attending the bar, they were doing everything to ensure that this event was a success. And so I thank all who were involved for the fantastic work that they would have done. And I believe that it was a spectacular kickoff for Culturama 50, coming out of a very successful Mango Festival, our 10th anniversary edition. The St. Kitts and Nevis Restaurant Week for 2024 was held from July 11th, and the featured theme ingredient was papaya. At least 25 eateries across Nevis participated in Restaurant Week, and they presented a wide variety of appetizers, entrees, and desserts, all featuring papaya. This year, several new establishments hosted signature events, including Papaya Carnival at Lime Cabanas, Sunset Dinner at the Nivision Heritage Village, and the all-white Moonlight Promenade at Sunshine's Bar and Grill. The Ministry of Tourism, which is the spearhead agency for this particular event, would like to thank the hard-working steering committee, all patrons and sponsors for their support of Restaurant Week 2024. Let me switch to a project that's near and dear to my heart, because it's in the heart of my constituency, as I like to call it, the metropolis of Bath. And that is the Bath Stream project. I am proud to announce today that the Bath Stream project is complete. There are some minor matters to be attended to, but I believe that we can say that the project is now done. The project is still some metal railing to be replaced and a shed pool to be resurfaced. We have to put in signage and the power and telecoms, but beyond that, the infrastructural work is done. The site boasts a newly paved driveway, which was asphalted just this week, 14 parking spaces, picket fencing, repainted railings along the lower stream, 2 gazebos to provide outdoor seating, a new roof for the shed pool, refurbishment of the original well on site, a welcome center, bathrooms, and changing rooms. The visitor amenities are set in beautifully landscaped gardens, a waterfall and fountain designed by local sculptor Marvin Chapman. Throughout my administration, you're going to hear that word local a lot, because we are empowering our local people to demonstrate what it is they have to offer. And so when you go to the Bath Stream, and I'm hopeful that the people of Nevis will enjoy what has been built for them. When you go there, everything that you see there would have been done by local persons, including the fountain that has been designed by local sculptor Marvin Chapman. The project, I would want to publicly commend Permanent Secretary John Hanley, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism. I want to commend Sylvester Mead, who works in the Ministry of Tourism and is charged with heritage sites, because those two gentlemen were the driving force. In fact, Mr. Mead, and just this morning I spoke to him, and I reminded him that all during COVID, when most people were preoccupied with the concerns about health, he kept telling me, we need to get this project done. We need to get this project done. And so I want to publicly thank him. He was passionate about it. He was there every day, and he delivered on that project. But of course, the project could not have been done without the assistance of all the contractors. I want to thank my friend Patches, and he was there, and he was the main contractor on the site, and he did a fantastic job. I used to go there, I used to push him, Patches, I need this done. He responded very favorably. I want to thank him. I want to also thank those who did all the stonework, those who did the landscaping. I believe if you have not gone there yet, members of the press, please take a visit. It is a fantastic addition to what Nevis has to offer, our brand new Bath Stream with all of its amenities. We now, as I've said, have changing rooms, we have bathroom facilities, we have all that you need. And we look forward to that site continuing to be of value to the people of Nevis. Just so you understand, because someone said to me, you plant too much flowers down there. What we're trying to create is a wellness area. We want, when you enter that facility, that all your cares and worries fall off your shoulders. We want you to go into the pools and get your hot bath, but we also then want you to relax. Read a book. Oftentimes, I think we forget the value of leisure, the value of relaxation. And so this government has certainly been investing in providing spaces for our people to relax. And so we expect our visitors to use the facility, but we also hope that our local people will use it. It is now the type of facility where you can take a book, you can take your Kindle For the artists who paint and those who do various things of that nature, we invite you. Go there, set up your easel, and paint. This is the idea behind it, to create an environment under the trees with flowers and enough foliage to make you relax. Dip in the pool, come out, you change, you do all that. But the idea is to promote wellness on the island of Nevis. And that is where we are with our Bath Stream update. So congratulations. I think the last thing that we need to do now is to erect the sign. And I believe that those signs will be erected shortly. The next phases of improvements, because people have already been asking, will be the continued work at the Bath Hotel, being undertaken by the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society, as well as efforts to rehabilitate the original Bath House, which, as you know, was damaged by fire. So right now what we're going to do is clean it up and improve the environs, but we hope ultimately to be able to rehabilitate the Bath House itself. Let me switch to a project which also has been creating waves, and that is the Pinnes Beach upgrades. I feel very proud of this project. I feel proud of this project because it came about through our partnership with the Republic of China, Taiwan. And when many people would go and ask for a building or ask for a road, we went and we asked that the vision of the late Malcolm Guichard to have a park at Pinnes, that vision be realized. And through the assistance and partnership of the Taiwanese, that project was designed and built. We opened the Malcolm Guichard Recreational Park, named in honor of Malcolm Guichard. And then we set about, having opened that park, to then engage in the rehabilitation and development of what we call the second phase, which is the beachfront area. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that you must, and would have to be the harshest cynic if you have not gone there and seen the value of what has been created. The vision of my cabinet and this government was to create a must-see, must-go area for families and persons who are visiting and our locals to go and dine and walk around and enjoy all that Nevis has to offer. And I'm pleased now that there at Pinnes we have a variety of offerings in terms of food. We even have a microbrewery offering the first beer to be brewed on the island of Nevis. We have various restaurants offering a wide array of food choices. We have lounges, we have upstairs lounges, we have an environment which offers you parking, enhanced security, bathroom facilities, changing facilities, restaurants, bars, and the idea really is to create for Nevis, and not just Nevis, but the Federation, a must-go area, an area where you can feel comfortable going out with your families to enjoy an evening out. Again, it's about leisure, it's about quality of life, and that is what we've sought to do. Now for the critics, because of course with everything in a democracy there will be critics. Let me just say that the Malcolm Guichard Park is the most widely used facility in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. It is a matter, I think, of some pride for the government, that not even the government can get the facility to use when we want it sometimes. Last year, in a year of 365 days, that facility was rented 289 times. 289 days, let me put it that way, out of 365. For various events, weddings, photo shoots, conferences. Everybody has gravitated to that venue. And so if there was a debate of the value of it, I think that the value is now obvious. And so I really want to thank all that have been involved. I want to thank from the bottom of my heart the Republic of China, Taiwan for their investment. I want to thank Mr. Michael Perkins, who has been the lead on that project for the government from day one. I want to thank the construction firm Guangzhou, who have done an incredible job there. I want to thank them. This project has boardwalks. In fact, we have just finished a second boardwalk along the area, beach area from Sunshines coming across. We have added now, and if you haven't been there in the last 2 or 3 days, we have technicians who have come in from Taiwan, And those technicians have added some display systems all around the venue. So those display systems can now be used to give information. We can talk about if something is happening, if there's danger, we can give an alert, but also we can advertise what's going on the island. When you go there, I believe that you will be impressed. And I want to thank my colleagues in the cabinet who have supported this vision 100%. We have delivered, and I'm grateful. And I know that our people coming home will see for themselves. I am not here to persuade you of anything. Drive around. This is your island. You know Nevis. You know how Nevis was, and you know how Nevis now is. Drive around. See it for yourself. Experience it for yourself. And then determine whether or not something good is happening on this island. So I really want to thank all involved in this significant project. And I just want to say, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, that we had some debate for a long time about the splash pad at the park. This is an area where the water comes up from the ground and the children love it. The pad was out of commission for a while because of some technical issues. Those have now been resolved. And so the splash pad is now back in operation. I say that especially for the groups from St. Kitts. Schools have complained that they brought their children there and the splash pad was not functional. So it is now fixed, and I say praise God for that. We are moving forward. The Nevis Garden Competition 2024. So, the Ministry of Tourism, in collaboration with the Department of Agriculture, recently announced the winners of the 2024 Nevis Garden Competition. The results are as follows. In the vegetable garden category, first place, Taisha Barry. Second place, Deslin Sturge. Third place, Carolee Wallace. In the flower ornamental category, first place, Ulrika Stevens. Second place, Carolee Wallace and Sheila Hanley. They're tied. Third place, Kilwati Singh. In the fruit garden category, first place, Isilma Daniel. Second place, Mahadeo Prasad. Third place, Mirthlin Elliott. And in the business institutions category, first place, Knickknacks Cafe. She did tell me she would get first, but here she is at first. She's right. Knickknacks Cafe. Second place, Passions Bar and Grill. Third place, Cleveland Gardens. Congratulations to all of the winners, and the ministry encourages them to continue to beautify our island and grow more local food. Ladies and gentlemen, an announcement that is near and dear to me. I want to announce that Candy Carter, multiple Emmy Award winner from the United States, an African-American woman who's won Emmy Awards for her production of the Oprah Winfrey Show, that she will shortly be named as an ambassador to Nevis with a duty to build awareness amongst people of diversity, including but not limited to race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, age, and religion, by using her network and influence to increase travel to Nevis. Mrs. Carter, who is based in the United States, through her network, will seek out and share opportunities for our tourism officials to meet and interact with influential people of diversity. So we have named her to the honorific position of Ambassador of Diversity for the island of Nevis. The reason for this is that I had the pleasure of entertaining Mrs. Carter and her husband Joe, who have become friends here on Nevis. And they made a comment which I thought was instructive. They said they love the island, but they didn't see enough visitors who looked like them. And I thought that that was interesting. And I said to her that we had, for a very long time, been seeking to get more of the African-American market to holiday here. When we look at the demographics, this is a multi-billion-dollar travel segment each year. But they go to Jamaica, they go to the Turks and Caicos, they go to the Bahamas. Very few of the other Caribbean islands get much business from this important demographic. And so we set about doing some new things to make Nevis known within that community. And I want to publicly thank Candy. She and her husband and the entire team, they have been partners working for free because they love Nevis, they fall in love with Nevis, and they're prepared to partner with us. And as a consequence, we have had quite a number of individuals who have come to Nevis directly as a result of their engagement with Mrs. Carter. And so we're pleased to name her to this honorific position as our diversity ambassador. As part of that effort, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, the Nevis Tourism Authority and the Four Seasons Resort have partnered with the Ladies Playbook on their very first annual Ladies Playbook retreat. The Ladies Playbook is an exclusive community dedicated to providing support, information, and the connections needed for an NFL National Football League family to thrive wherever their football career takes them. They are committed to simplifying the relocation process and ensuring that every woman feels empowered and equipped for success in the sports industry. This again is an effort to do more targeted marketing, as Nevis is the perfect place for high-profile celebrities, tourists alike. And so, this effort is being led by a woman called Atoya Burleson. Now, Mrs. Burleson is the wife of famed NFL player Nate Burleson, who is now the co-host of the CBS Mornings with Gayle King. You might have seen him on television, and Nate and his wife were here recently. We brainstormed and we came up with this idea that they are going to come and have a special retreat here for the ladies of the NBA. Not the NBA, forgive me, the NFL, National Football League. And the idea is that they will go back, we hope, with good stories and a good message about our beautiful island, and that we will see more NFL players and their families choosing to holiday, invest, buy homes, and be part of Nevis. This is all part and parcel of the effort that we are seeing. Let me switch very quickly to the Ministry of Health, Gender Affairs and Social Empowerment. We would like to congratulate Dr. Jamoy Pemberton and Dr. Vernal Thomas, Nevis's newest doctors, who recently graduated from Latin American School of Medicine in Cuba. Both doctors are expected to return home to join the health fraternity in advancing health care on the island of Nevis. We extend our gratitude to the government of the Republic of Cuba for providing these opportunities for our students to pursue higher education. And I extend commendation to Dr. Pemberton and Dr. Thomas. If I can for a moment just single out Dr. Pemberton, because she's from Brownhill, just to say that I know that her mother and father will be very proud. And all of us are proud in Brownhill. Her father is no other than the famous King Bingi, Carlisle Pemberton, and her mother, I like to call Queen Joan Pemberton. And they are the parents of Dr. Pemberton. And so we commend her and Dr. Thomas for going to Cuba, learning Spanish, being taught in Spanish, graduating, and coming back to us now as duly qualified medical doctors. Praise be to God, and I am delighted for them and their families. On Friday, the 19th of July, the Flamboyant Nursing Home commissioned a brand new Arjo Huntley hydraulic shower trolley, valued at some US $9,126. The trolley was generously donated by the Swiss Embassy, and I would want to publicly recognize Mr. Ernest Amry, Honorary Consul General, the Embassy of Switzerland, who was present to hand over the trolley. The ministry takes the opportunity to thank the Embassy for their partnership in enhancing the provision of care to residents at the Flamboyant Nursing Home. The board, a good development, an important development, the board of the Gender Affairs Girl Mentorship Program was installed on Tuesday, 9th July, at a brief ceremony held at the Gender Affairs Conference Room. The board comprises 9 members. Executing Agency Officer, Ms. Catherine Forbes, Counselor, Mrs. Tebron Joseph, Youth Representatives, Ms. Neela Jones and Ms. Diandra Archibald, Mentor Representative, Mrs. Pamela Martin, School Representative, Ms. Diane Hobson, Private Sector Representative, Mr. Randolph Boddy, and Civil Society Representative, Ms. Patricia Claxton and Mr. Roger Fifield. The first cohort of girls to be mentored will be from the Charleston Secondary School. A call for mentors will be announced soon. So this board is really the entity that will steer this program as we introduce mentorship and formalize it in our school system and in our education system generally. We are doing this through our Ministry of Gender and Social Empowerment. The SKN Move Nevis chapter will be hosting its annual It's a Nevis Knockout Obstacle Course Challenge on Saturday, August 17th for the preliminaries and quarterfinal round, and on Saturday, August 24th for the semi-final and final. Interested individuals can register with Ms. Sheila James at the Health Promotion Unit. Contact 469-5521, extension 6393. Let me tell you a bit about the summer programs. I think those of us who are old like me would remember a time when in summer we found whatever we found to do. We were on our own, and our parents did their best. Well, Nevis, modern-day Nevis has moved well beyond that. I mentioned the summer camp put on already by our fire and rescue services. Well, we have a number of other camps that you'll hear about. Let me tell you about Camp Refresh. This is the annual summer camp from the Community Development Team, and it is currently ongoing at the Charleston Secondary School. Camp Refresh commenced on Monday, July 15th, will end on Friday, July 26th. Their theme, a fun summer experience with shared learning, captures the efforts of the department to provide children with a positive experience where they can gain knowledge, build character, which is very important, and socialize with their peers in a fun environment. There are 80 children registered for Camp Refresh. Activities include arts and craft, learning values, character building sessions, and a field trip to the Nevis Heritage Village. There will be a movie day and fun day. Where? At the Malcolm Guichard Recreational Park, pressed into use yet again. The closing ceremony will be on Friday, July 26th, where the children will display their arts and craft. The Best Kept Village competition. It came to a close as judging was held on Monday, July 15th. There were a total of 6 participating villages, 3 for the small category and 3 for the large. For the small category, we had Cades Bay, Westbury Village, Barnesgate Village, and Cox, Beaumont, Montpelier Estate. In the large village category, we had Jessop's Village, Brown Hill, and Hanley's Road. The winner of the Best Kept Village competition in the large category is Hanley's Road. And the winner of the Best Kept Village in the small category is Barnesgate. We want to take the opportunity to commend the groups who facilitated the cleaning of their respective areas. Their participation in this competition, as well as their hard work and efforts in keeping the community clean, is indeed commendable. We congratulate the Empire Sports Club for facilitating the work at Hanley's Road and for winning the large village category of the Best Kept Village competition. Permit me also to add that the judges were very impressed with the work that the group did regarding the replanting and the painting of a mural by the bus stop in Hanley's Road. We also want to express congratulations to the Barnesgate Community Development Improvement Club for facilitating the work in Barnesgate Village and for winning the small category of this competition. We commend them, the people of Barnesgate, for consistently keeping their village clean and orderly. As well as encouraging the participation of community members, we want to commend those who help to strengthen civic pride in their communities and promote social cohesion and community spirit through healthy competition and collaboration. We applaud the efforts of all. And since I'm on that, let me continue, ladies and gentlemen, from this rostrum to impress upon us the need to keep our island clean. I mention that because I try most mornings to do a bit of exercise, which includes some walking. And as I walk, I continue to be very concerned about the number of plastic bottles and styrofoam containers which are clearly being thrown from vehicles as people drive by. I am encouraging our people, please. We say Nevis nice, it's because it is. But it can be even nicer if we were to do the simple things that we were taught as children. None of us grew up in pasture, none of us grew up in the bush. No matter how poor we were, our parents instilled in us certain civic pride and responsibility. Stop throwing garbage out of your windows as you drive by. If you're having some water, you're having some food in your car, wait until you get to a garbage receptacle and dispose of your garbage. When I walk and I see plastic bottles all around, and I walk in the area of Coal Hill and Cox, it is appalling. So I'm appealing to our people. Please do the right thing. And if you're driving behind somebody and you see them dumping garbage out the window, toot your horn, make some noise, let them know it's not acceptable in Nevis. There's really no room for that. And I urge our people to show more civic pride. I don't care whether you're from Nevis or you happen to live in Nevis, but you come from someplace else. Nevis belongs to all of us. It is the little that we have. Let us take care of it. So I make that hopefully passionate plea that we stop disposing recklessly of garbage and we keep Nevis nice. Let me move to the Disaster Management Department. A number of updates from them. In collaboration with the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, we would have successfully executed a national simulation exercise during the period 17 to 19 July 2024. The objective of the exercise was to identify the strengths and weaknesses of the national hurricane preparedness and response agencies. NGOs, faith-based organizations, volunteers participated in the event. Let me just say that the event was a simulation of a Category 5 hurricane, a storm that was named Ingrid, and I was able to attend, and I was very impressed at the extent to which the teams had assembled. The EOC was activated. I was able to speak to the Honorable Prime Minister, and we spoke about conditions on Nevis and conditions on St. Kitts, and I felt good to know that we are preparing. As I like to say for hurricanes, we prepare for the worst and we pray for the best. We are now in the throes of the hurricane season, and we urge everyone to continue to be vigilant. On Thursday, the 18th of July, the Nevis Disaster Management Department, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, received a shipment of medical supplies and first responder kits from the U.S. NGO Direct Relief. This donation will enhance the response capacities and operational readiness on the island. The Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, CDEMA, has confirmed that the 13th Comprehensive Disaster Management Conference Youth Forum will be held in Nevis during the period 3rd to 5th December 2024. All youths who are interested in featuring or participating in the event are asked to contact the the Nevis Disaster Management Department at 869-469-1423 or email them at info@ndmd.kn or ndmdinfo@gmail.com. So I think that's a significant development that the Youth Forum for the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency will be on Nevis from the period 3rd to 5th December 2024. The Nevis Disaster Management Department will also convene its annual summer camp during the period 12th to 23rd August for children between the ages of 5 to 16. Participants will learn safety survival skills, first aid and CPR, water safety, fire safety, wilderness foraging, and road and traffic safety. The objective is to prepare our children to remain calm in the face of adversity and for survival in the event that the island suffers a catastrophic impact. And if you realize the age group, 5 to 16, so we're not leaving anyone out. We invite all, of course, who wish to be a part of this camp to sign up. We encourage, please, all residents and citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis to be vigilant as we are now into the peak of the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season. All emergency plans that you may have for yourself and your family should be completed at this time. Let me move quickly to the Public Works Department. These men and women under the leadership of the Honorable Spencer Brand and his team, Director Williams, and the entire cohort, they have been transforming the infrastructure on the island of Nevis. They have completed their works that I indicated at the cultural complex, vendor bars. The final asphalt layer was laid at the Butlers Road project from the intersection by the Seventh Adventist Church to the junction by Eden Brown, and that brings to an end the civil works on that project at Butlers, which was spread over 3 phases. There are some final cosmetic and landscaping work to be done, but the civil works are now over, another project delivered by this government. Asphalt was laid in Brownhill from the basketball court down connecting to Low Ground Road. The roadway measured approximately 1,500 feet and is a critical travel corridor linking Brownhill, Montpelier to Low Ground, Cherry Gardens, and of course the Long Point Road. That area is now complete, again, a project delivered by this government. We have now completed the paving and the civil works at the Bath Stream. I referred to that earlier. We started there on Monday, July 22nd, and that work is now complete. Another project delivered by this government. We have also completed the fencing along the northern boundary line of a government house, official residence and office of the Deputy Governor General. There's also some repair and enhancement work to be done on the buildings on site, and those works are continuing. Another project delivered. The Public Works Department is continuing its efforts to clean and maintain critical waterways and drains on the island. The recent rains did highlight some troubled spots, and we are addressing those areas. I just urge the public that when you see us cleaning the drains and all of that, it is because that is part of our preparation for any eventuality. We need to have our waterways cleared so that guts would run not on the roads, but in the gut. And we are preparing accordingly. To the all-important search for water. Drillers from Trinidad's Water and Oil Well Services are expected to be on the island in the early part of next week. The equipment, drill rig, etc. is scheduled to set sail from Trinidad this Friday, July 26th. The shipment of equipment was originally scheduled for July 12th, as I had reported prior. However, due to the recent passing of Hurricane Beryl and its effects on the Windward Islands of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and Grenada, the vessel was asked to do some humanitarian runs between those islands. Another vessel had to be secured to transport the drilling rig and equipment to Nevis, and is therefore expected on island early next week. The first well to be drilled will be in Maddens, just above the Maddens tank. Drilling will take 1 week after commencement, with additional time for pump testing and connection to the system. The second location will be in the Braziers area, with Hard Times area potentially being the third area. At the end, we are hoping for an additional 1.5 to 2 million gallons per day of water. Additionally, 13 data loggers have been received to monitor the groundwater levels on the island. This enables us to better manage our groundwater aquifers, especially as we are now embarking on a new drilling program. Mr. Donald Sargent traveled to St. Lucia last month, where he participated in a training workshop which focused on the use of artificial intelligence in water resource management. The workshop focused on essential principles of machine learning in water resource management. A central theme was demonstrating how AI, through machine learning, can significantly improve the management of resources, particularly in assessing risks related to floods and droughts. Work on our desalination plant is ongoing. The finishing touches on the plastering of the building is in progress. Preparations also being made for the foundation for the solar panels. Let me switch now to the Department of Labor. The Department of Labor held its Youth Entrepreneurship Expo on July 2nd, 2024, under the theme Conceptualize, Capitalize, and Convert Your Skills into Cash. This was held where? At the Malcolm Guichard Recreational Park. 17 participants were registered and participated. Presentations on business plan writing, business product branding and marketing, business and financial management were given by Mrs. Kimon Movin-Pinney, Ms. Carice Elliott, and Ms. Catherine Forbes, respectively. On Wednesday, July 10th, the youths were able to display their different business products ideas in an open forum at the Malcolm Guichard Park. They were also able to market their business by speaking about the different products and services their businesses offered. 2 of the young entrepreneurs were given the opportunity to participate in the Ministry of Tourism's night market on Saturday, July 6th, and 5 of them will be participating in the Ministry of Agriculture Fruit Festival on August 2nd. All are invited to support the young people in their business endeavors. Let me again, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard me talk about it far too many times perhaps, but it is a consistent theme of this government. We are supportive of small businesses. In fact, we have recently launched a campaign as government where we're using social media to provide support for small businesses in terms of their advertisements. I have, for example, using my own platforms, On the Mark, a radio show that I host each Wednesday for 2 hours on Von Radio, but also my WhatsApp status and my own Facebook pages to promote local businesses. And so if you have a small business and you want to benefit from that promotion, just reach out. We're here to assist you. I was very, very impressed to hear the testimony from one small business owner who said that since her business was featured, she's overwhelmed with orders from not just here in Nevis, but from abroad as well. And she said she's working day and night to satisfy those orders. Another businesswoman, young businesswoman, commented that within minutes of her business being advertised, she started to receive calls. I'm urging our small business community to advertise. Just this morning, I spoke to a gentleman who said there was a particular small business who was complaining that they were not getting much traffic. And I said to him, I had not heard of them. And you can't get traffic unless people have heard of you. So I asked that gentleman who spoke to me to ask the businesswoman to send me her information. And I've already posted that information to my various platforms as well. And so I encourage you to do that. In fact, last week, Wednesday and On the Mark, we had 2 hours dedicated to the small business community. Simple idea. But what we did was allow small business people to call in and talk about their business. What they offer, where they can be contacted. And several of them took advantage of the opportunity. I'm very, very proud of that initiative by this government to highlight and promote and advertise and showcase the small business community. And I want you to understand that this is not in isolation. I am saying that now because you realize that I've just reported on the Department of Labor, which had an entire few days at the Malcolm Gishard Park featuring young entrepreneurs, providing training to them in various areas, as I pointed out, business plan writing, business product branding and marketing, and business financial management, all of which are critical if you're going to go into business and make a success of your business. That was the Department of Labor. The government has been going around filming and producing advertisements for small businesses for free. You would have seen a lot of them featured on social media already. And we're capturing people who may not have the money to do an advertisement for themselves. Well, we are assisting. And if we have not got to you yet, please don't despair. We're going around, we're taking it one by one and two by two. But we are exposing our small business community, especially now when there are thousands of people on Nevis who have come home for Culturama and our homecoming celebration. It is a wonderful time for small businesses to earn a little extra money. So please take advantage of the opportunity. Now I'm going to say something here which I hope is not too controversial. The opposition in Nevis has attacked us for promoting small businesses in the way that we're doing. And whilst I understand that the opposition has a role to play in any healthy democracy, I am extending to them the offer of joining us in this initiative. It is not everything, in my view, that we need to oppose. There are some good things that are happening on this island which could benefit from opposition and government working together to promote small businesses. After all, if small businesses succeed, then Nevis succeeds. And so I encourage all. I also encourage those small business owners who are sympathetic to and supporters of the opposition that they too need to get involved. Because I've heard some say, me no want this government promote my business. Please, all advertisement is good advertisement. And if you get the opportunity to have your business showcase, please don't let politics stop you. At the end of the day, business is business, politics is politics. And I urge those of you who are in business to remember to keep them separate. Focus on your business. Vote for who you want. But grow your business, develop your business, and that is what I'm interested in as the Premier of Nevis. We have spent a lot of time, members of the press, members of the public, talking about foreign investment. And yes, foreign investment is important. And yes, we want more foreign investment. But there's also such a thing as local investment. And every day we have our local people who are getting up and going out and doing extraordinary things. We must also be willing to celebrate and promote them. And that is what this initiative is about. So when you see me out and about on a Saturday, and I have some fried fish from up by Bit, or I have some fungi and steamed fish from by Mems, or I'm up at Big Six, or wherever I happen to be, and I'm posting something on my social media pages about how good the food is, where this is, believe me, it's not just because I don't have food to eat at home. It is part and parcel of the promotion of small businesses and the encouragement of people to go and get involved, support. And so, small businesses, if you're listening, get involved. This will be an ongoing initiative. It's not a one-off. We are ramped up for Culturama, but it will be an ongoing initiative. I want to publicly commend Mikhail Herbert, who has really been assisting and brainstorming and coming up with creative ways for us to be able to showcase the small business community. And as I talk about small businesses, I don't know if this qualifies as a small business, I hope it does. But I want to also invite members of the public to come up to the Social Security building here in Pinnes, where we have, for the first time, an art display which will be on display for, I'm told, a lengthy enough period. 6 months, I gather? At least 6 months. It will be beautiful if it's permanent, but we're grateful for the 6 months. These are works by artist Howard Payne, and they depict historic Charlestown. And so once you enter the Social Security building, on every floor that is occupied by the government, these beautiful paintings showing various scenes from historic Charlestown are on display. Again, an opportunity to showcase what is going on the island and what we have to offer. So please, we expect, even if you don't have any government business, to come and look at this exhibition that is going on here at the building that is a Social Security building. Let me go back to Public Works. We have, as I've indicated, concluded the work at Pinnes, and I commend Public Works because they did some paving there, and you now have much improved driving experience. We have completed Bath Stream, we have completed Butlers, we've really delivered all of these projects, and I'm truly grateful to them for that and to their leadership. I want to thank Danny, Bourgeois, Dangles, the entire team. If you hear me, members of the press, using some nicknames, it's because sometimes I know the nickname better than the real name. But they know who they are, and they work exceedingly hard. And when I call them by their nickname, the public knows who I'm talking about. Because if I call some of them right name, I don't believe the public would know who I mean. And this is intended to give them the credit that they deserve for the excellent work that they have been doing. And so I thank all of them. Those who are involved with the road preparation, those who are involved with the paving, those who are involved with every aspect of this. Let me move on and now go to Danny Williams. I just called his name. I spoke to Danny Williams a couple of days ago. I speak to him often. He does not work in my ministry. He works in the Ministry of Communications and Works. But I talk to him often because sometimes if I drive around and I see something done, rather than harassing Minister Brand with everything, I sometimes would make a direct call to Danny. And when I called him a few days ago, Danny says, I'm on the airport, I'm headed to Barbuda. to Barbuda. And he says, yes, he's going to do some training. So, Danny Williams was invited by the USAID Bureau of Humanitarian Assistance to assist in facilitating the delivery of a damage and needs analysis for first responders and disaster management personnel on the island of Barbuda. This is part of training that the Barbuda Council has requested in collaboration with the National Office of Disaster Services of Antigua and Barbuda. He will assist with the delivery of training course from July 22nd to 24th, and also assist with the conducting of an EOC tabletop simulation exercise on July 25th. Now, why do I say that? Why is that newsworthy? I say that, and it's newsworthy because there are people outside this country, people outside this island, who are seeing the value of what we have and the expertise that we have resident in Nevis. People don't call on others who have nothing to offer. People call on others who have something to offer. And here we have Danny Williams, our own, invited to Barbuda to train people up there. What does that say about Little Nevis? I want our people to feel proud when these things happen, because a lot of times Nevisians say, man, we're from a small island, we're small, we'll have to sit down in the back, don't make too much noise, don't say too much. But the truth is that wherever we have been in this world, Virgin Islands, Canada, United States, America, United Kingdom, wherever, we have punched above our weight and we have consistently excelled. And sometimes when you're home, they say a king has no credit, they say in his own kingdom. A lot of times our first instinct is to criticize our own, devalue our own, say all that is wrong with our own. But guess what? People outside saying, send him here, come train me. Those that we are criticizing here in Nevis, others outside are saying, send he to train me. I believe that speaks for itself. I don't need to belabor the point. We need to cherish our own. And this government, I'm proud of that fact that we have always sought to elevate the people of Nevis and to give them an opportunity in their own island. I got a call recently from a friend on St. Kitts, and he indicated to me that he wanted Nevisians from our public works paving department, those who pave the roads, to get involved with projects on St. Kitts. Why? Because of the high standards and the quality, the technical skills that they possess here on the island of Nevis. Many of you may not even know that Public Works Nevis has routinely gone to St. Kitts to assist them in paving roads. When in St. Kitts they were doing roads in the heart of Bastia. Help me out with the street there. Bank Street? That goes from the circus, go across to the main Pall Mall Square, it's called. Goes across to the big square there in front of the courthouse. Independence. Used to be Pall Mall, I think. Nevisians were called upon, come help us to get this done and get this done right. And I just want to say that that is and could not have been possible without a government that said, we are going to invest in our people. We are going to say to our people, we have confidence in you to deliver. It was not always so. There was a point in this country when no less a person than the leader of this island, to justify giving all of the work to a foreign company, said that when our people came home, they did not know what they were doing. When they come from school, they did not know what they were doing. And that, in his opinion, they must practice, and learn how to drive before the government of the day could invest in them. But if we tell our people that we have no confidence in them, that they must practice, learn how to drive. I believe he said he gave them a road up in Brown Pasture. Let them go up there, go practice. Imagine a situation where I'm division and I go to the University of the West Indies at the St. Augustine campus and I do engineering, civil engineering, with my Trinidadian counterpart. We both graduate with honors. He goes on to do whatever he's doing with whatever company in Trinidad. I come home to serve. I'm told by my government that I must go and practice. And when I look, is my classmate who they bring from Trinidad to do the project in Nevis. Well, how would that make me feel? And we said no, as a government, and I'm saying it today because what we are seeing happening on this island is a manifestation of our policy coming into play. The fruition of that policy, saying, give Nevisians a chance. Give them an opportunity in their own island. And they have responded. You hear talk about the complex. I talked about Culture Armor Village. I talk about the road in Butlers, that in Brownhill. I have not even mentioned the water taxi facility. You look across this island, and what you see happening in housing, in infrastructure, in water development, in public works, you see that we are building this island with our own hands, by our own people, for the benefit of our own people. You cannot achieve that, ladies and gentlemen of the press, if you have no confidence in your people. You mustn't tell your own people to go practice and learn how to drive. You must say, you have gone to school like everybody else. You have come back like everybody else. And you must be given an opportunity to show what you can do. You see, we just did the cultural village and cultural complex. A youngster is who we chose to be the architect. Just come back. But he trained in architecture. What should I tell that youngster? I believe his name is Mr. Pemberton. I hope I have it correct. Mr. Pemberton come back a qualified architect. I should tell him, boy, go practice. Go build 2 full coop before you could come to say you want to do